I'm Andrew Moran, Liberty Nation's economics editor.
Very, very rocky.
Death by government.
Drain the swamp.
Hello and welcome to another installment of Liberty Nation's Swamponomics videocast. I'm Andrew Moran, Liberty Nation's economics editor. This week, the banking crisis never ended. New U.S. central bank data show that the financial institutions are still tapping into the Federal Reserve's emergency lending facility that was created in the aftermath of the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank. For the week ending November 22nd, the total Bank Term Funding Program, or BTFP, reached a fresh all-time high of $114.1 billion. If the banking sector were peachy, and stable, and sound, and safe, and liquid, and resilient, wouldn't this number be on the decline? If you were asleep during the entire saga earlier this year, here is a rundown of what happened. Regional entities over-leveraged in long-term US bonds, and as a result of the Eccles Building's rate hikes, they were annihilated by paper losses and physical and digital bank runs. The Fed's strategy helped banks mask their unrealized paper losses, preventing a deeper dive into these companies' balance sheets and further runs. But what about the realized losses? Meanwhile, when looking ahead to 2024, March and April will be crucial times to observe because these months are when the bulk of the BTFP loans are due from borrowers. Will institutions be able to repay? Will their operations be damaged by paying back the Fed? E.J. Antoni, an economist at Heritage and former guest on Swamponomics TV, was pretty blunt in his assessment on X about when the loans are due. Quote, March 24 is shaping up to be a total disaster. Well, that's pretty blunt. Now, would many more banks have failed without the Federal Reserve and the rest of the US government bailing them out? To be clear, 5 US banks have failed. Wait a minute, 5? We have Silicon Valley Bank, Signature Bank, and First Republic Bank. Who are the other 2? Well, 2 other regional banks quietly folded and did not receive as much attention as the others, Citizens Bank and Heartland Tri-State Bank. So, would there have been more? This is what US officials say would be the case without government intervention and bailing out these organizations. Maybe something dire is happening too. In recent news, dozens of US banks have filed to shut down in a single week. Many bank stocks have yet to recover from the 2023 crisis. Guidance from earnings reports have been mixed. Whatever the case, it is pretty much agreed upon that regulators, who already have thousands of pages of regulations and authority in their grasp, fell asleep at the wheel. Perhaps if FDIC office employees were not too busy peeing off rooftops or sending each other pictures of their privates, then maybe this could have been averted. Either way, the troubles that impacted these institutions have not vanished. They are simply being masked, and it is not going away. The worst kept secret in Washington and Wall Street, however, is that the banking system will always be bailed out now and forever. If JP Morgan Chase and Wells Fargo were on the brink of financial disaster tomorrow, the Fed, the Treasury, the FDIC, and all of the other alphabet regulatory agencies would intervene and use taxpayer dollars to prevent their demise. Be it the global financial crisis in 2008 or the 2023 meltdown, these are examples of moral hazards, subsidizing a party's risky behavior because they know they'll be protected from these consequences of their decisions. This is Swamponomics 101, it seems. That's it for me this week. Please read my full Swamponomics column on the pages of LibertyNation.com and be sure to check out my previous Swamponomics TV episodes. Thank you. I'm Andrew Moran, Liberty Nation's economics editor.
Very, very rocky.
Death by government.
Drain the swamp.
Don't get caught up in the media madness. Join our movement for free thinking and free speech at LibertyNation.com. Publishing news and analysis 24/7 with original articles by our team of authors who tell it like it is. Join us each week for online TV shows, The Uprising Podcast, and Liberty Nation Radio. We believe in free thinking and free speech. We are LibertyNation.com.